Fnatic one game away from making the grand final here and guaranteeing themselves at least $200,000 for that second place, and of course challenging for $500,000. We do have Ballistix on the other side of this battlefield looking to try and thwart that effort. Let's find out in game number 3 which battleground we're going to be going to, and it will be Fnatic's choice again, and it's going to be Battlefield of Eternity.
You know, it feels like it's a bit sad, but I don't see any way Ballistix comes back into this series with how they played the first two. I feel like this is a great map choice for Fnatic. They were able to take it because Ballistix, like most Korean teams, will always choose first pick when in a situation where they're down in a series. So giving this over to Fnatic now, and confidence-wise, this team is shaken. We have seen this before. We saw this last year. Fnatic has the crowd behind them, and I can't believe I'm the HGC Korea guy saying this, but I don't see at this moment in time a way back into this series.
Right, it's time to get into it. Game number 3 here. It's the last rites for Ballistix. Will they be able to keep themselves alive here, going up against Fnatic onto Battlefield of Eternity?
Yeah, I was wondering where Fnatic would go if they did get that map choice. Cursed Hollow is the actually best map, but given how they've been playing so far with a heavy emphasis on the team fight, Battlefield of Eternity once again promotes that style of play, so I'm glad to see them make that adaptation on the fly. And just like that, Ballistix open up with the Ray Guard. They're not going to go for the Muradin this time around.
Yeah, I mean, Muradin has been struggling to make his mark against ETC from time to time. Trying to jump in, face melt, has been working out fine. Now Ballistix will try a different strategy. They still won't pick the map. They value first pick, but they're going to go with the Ray Guard this time. Excellent immortal damage, great single target healing, and spread healing as well.
This is not a map that Ballistix is as known for as MVP Black. You can't just generalize as many might that Korean teams in general are strong on this map, and I think this is a map that's going to play to Fnatic's strengths. Their team fighting we've seen today, their picks, their punish play. We're going to see ETC again, one of the strongest heroes in terms of what you can offer in terms of punish play when someone steps over the line, when someone steps just a little bit too far forward. Jungha, in last game's case, was very often punished by ETC.
I think Ballistix goes Tyrael here. I don't think they want to try Muradin versus ETC again. I think they need more direction for their draft. Wolf, you talked about the direction in the other series, the other semi-finals just now, and I feel like that's what Ballistix needs at this point, just like Expert needed it in their game 3.
Yeah.
I like the style of play when you actually pick, like, say, the Tyrael, the Muradin, because generally speaking on this kind of map, right, you're having that sort of defensive style where you're posturing around the Immortals, trying to sort of juke at each other. And ETC, Garrosh sort of fall into that category where you are going to take a lot of that poke damage, you are quite squishy, you don't have the sustain to sort of survive, whereas Tyrael forces that engage with the Eldrin's Might. You've got Muradin that if he does take a fair chunk of damage, has the second wind to regen up, so he can bait out not only resources, but a lot of time in that sort of same fashion, right? So Ballistix, with the Rhaegar, already heavily emphasizing the Immortal race, but Tyrael would make sense.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about Arthas. I thought maybe Tyrael, Arthas. Arthas does great against Kharazim, but what do you think of Wolf?
I see the Arthas, and I feel like it's a preemptive response to both the Kharazim we see and what they're expecting to be a Grey main, I have to imagine. I don't think Ballistix will look for a Grey main ban in the second rotation. This is picked preemptively in Korea against Grey main play almost exclusively. In the past, sure, we saw the Illidan, preempt as well, but not really meta anymore. So with the Arthas pickup here, the Dahaka Rhaegar, what this could end up being is another Li Ming on a composition. Again, it was only Black who showed that style, but I think that if Ballistix can emulate that with this draft, you see the Howling Blast come through, you lock in the target, you have these Li Ming resets coming through. We could see what they were almost able to do last game with the Li Ming. It could all work out here, but now the highlight comes through, and I feel like this, what Ballistix has shown, is so telegraphed. It's so opposite of how Black has been drafting. When they have a style like this, they hide it, but this is screaming, get rid of Li Ming, and that is exactly what Fnatic is going to do.
So now I feel like Ballistix, having said that, which was wonderful analysis, by the way, Wolf, I feel like Ballistix could still follow through with the Tyrael, giving bonus movement speed to Arthas. Alternatively, Lucio is an option. And then who do you pair it up with? Well, SCSC's Vala comes to mind. We are expecting Greymane, to be countered a bit by Arthas, so maybe Fnatic doesn't go Greymane, and then Ballistix can grab that.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't think they want to ban the Grey main here because it feels very counterintuitive to set that up, especially now that Li Ming is off the cards. We've seen Howling Blast used in conjunction with Li Ming on a buy Black many times. So what do you ban here? It's a tough question. Gonna take away the Malthael. This is a safe ban, but I don't think it puts Ballistix any steps closer to winning this draft per se. I'm really curious to see, now that the Leeming is removed, what they pick here, because they can't just play that defensive poke style where you sit back, you take the defensive engages with your Arthas, with your Rhaegar, and poke the Immortals down. Now they're going to have to do something more aggressive. And you know, we've seen in the past, in moments like this, Sergeant Hammer gets picked in Korea every now and then, but not in an O2 series in the semifinals. Do you pull that out? I don't think, and I'm worried for Ballistix now in terms of composition.
Fnatic now with the ETC and the Kerosene, two fantastic diving tools, not necessarily the strongest for the Immortal itself, which is what Ballistix have put a lot of effort in towards, but Greymane screams out to me at the meantime as that initial pick for their DPS role, if you will.
Alternatively, Vala is an option.
Yeah, you just follow here.
Tyrael, Lucio, either one of those. There we go. Very similar.
It feels very much like they're going to just run with the win, pretty much like what they did last game. Stick to what's true and trusted. Leave that fifth and final role for that flex. Potentially Tyrael is still an option now for Fnatic.
And I think Ballistix is probably really regretting not just banning the Vala. You already have drafted according to a potential Greymane pick. You've removed the Malthael, you removed the strong top laner there. Sure, that helps Dahak out, but it doesn't help your comp that doesn't have poke anymore. And what do you pick here? Can you try to go toe-to-toe with a Tyrael pick and dive with something hyper-aggressive?
It's hard.
It's tough, especially with Lucio on the other side.
And if you take Tyrael, you've got triple warrior Rhaegar. That's really awkward. And that's why it's so smart Fnatic took Lucio first instead of Tyrael. Because Lucio would have fit Ballistix a lot better.
Yeah, I think Ballistix has drafted themselves into a corner here.
Yes.
This was a smart draft from the outset, but Fnatic read it well with the Leeming ban. And the Malthael ban ends up being worthless here. And 5 seconds to go. I don't even know if they know what they want to pick. Let's find out what it's going to be. This is a rare case. Zeratul Genji.
All right.
Talk about desperation.
Yeah, you know that the draft hasn't led to anything when Zeratul comes out. Just like, let's just win with rule breaking, like Void Prison something, and make your draft a non-draft for 4 seconds. And try to use our amazing Korean mechanical skills to let Zeratul and Genji get kills where essentially opportunities are hard to find.
I mean, they're not going to get a Lost Vikings last pick lock-in here this time. Okay, this is a very similar draft, but that's not going to be Lost Vikings on the other side.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, it screams to me really that Ballistix are saying, look, we are that mechanical team, as you mentioned, Grubby. We want to really look for those fights. We're not really going to be too phased on the objective itself, but you know, if you bring that pain towards us, Fnatic, we're going to try and go for those kills. Yeah, we want the Leeming. We want to try and run that reset comp again, and if we can't get it, then we're going to go for the Zeratul and really trying to isolate on those rotations that Fnatic, for the most part, should be dictating with this Lucio.
And there's only one choice now, I think, for Fnatic, Tyrael.
Tyrael is the easy, obvious choice. You shut down all the dive, best defensive hero in this case. I think it's the go-to. It's going to be Sonya instead. They're going to have to grab a solo laner here. They don't want on this map where the lane swap, divide is much higher. It's a 2-lane map to deal with the Haka split pushing. When they used the Tyrael previously, however, Jungha was not actually using the pressure for Sonya, and I think that's why they're going back to the Dahaka pick here. It's a little bit more straightforward. So I can respect this pick in terms of lane control and experience, but I think Tyrael was the stronger pick in terms of team fighting and defensive engagements. So I think that Ballistix will be happy with this final lock-in.
I agree the Tyrael would have been the go-to as well, because if you look at the composition that Ballistix has, it's very melee heavy, right? So it's going to be very focused on sort of those choke points. You can turn that run around with a big mosh pit, right? The sanctification, any kind of sort of protected mechanism, so to speak, would have given them infinite value. And we saw what it just did on Inferno Shrines. Why not run with the wind and do it again?
Yeah, I think in the end, if it was ARAM, all random, all middle, well, all pick, all middle, then you would have gone Tyrael if it's just about the team fights. But because of the laning, probably they went with Sonya. Two very valid picks.
Yeah. The question is, gentlemen, can Ballistix recover?
I don't think this is a draft that gets them back into the series. I mean, yeah, this is all about the sort of the mechanics that Korea always sort of like to flex and show that they're strong for. But I think with, as you mentioned, with Fnatic, the tools they've gone for, the rotation's really in their mind. I think Fnatic are going for this 3-0.
I think Fnatic's going to take the 3-0 as well. They have the stronger defensive composition. They have a solid all-around draft in terms of lane control. Ballistix draft themselves in the corner. When they had a really good draft in the previous game, I think mentality-wise, they made a lot of mistakes. Now, I think that's even bleeding into the draft. I think that Fnatic takes the 3-0.
From what we've seen, it would be a shell shock of epic proportions if Ballistix was able to turn it around. I'm feeling the 3-0 as well, but I think this is going to be a messy, chaotic game. Ballistix has only one way to go, and it's forwards. Like this comp, it's just fireworks, and I think Fnatic can contain the fireworks.
Well, let's find out as we head over to our commentary team for game number 3. Fnatic is one game away from getting a repeat grand finals here at BlizzCon.
Fnatic has a chance here to end this series with a clean 3 over Ballistix, but Ballistix, they have a chance to mount a comeback.
They definitely do. They had a bit of a break, so they could just recover a bit after they already lost the first 2 maps, and now they have to show that aggression that we talked about, that our analysts have been highlighted, especially with Zeratul.
Let's go into it. BOE here, game number 3 in this best-of-5 series. Fnatic up 2-0 over Ballistix. And this rematch has been pretty electric between these two, but Fnatic has gotten the edge so far.
Yeah, Fnatic definitely right now coming out swinging every game. Hyper-aggressive maps from both teams thus far. It was a lot of fun watching map 1 and 2. Let's see what we have for game number 3 with Breeze to the left side on ETC. Quacknix again on Vala. Shrimpy this time on Karazim. We see Wooby on Sonya. We have Smexio and Lucio. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is Team Fnatic!
SC playing Zeratul Hooligan on the Arthas Junghwa, playing the Dahaka, SD on Genji, and finally here the Rhaegar will be played by Swoy. Give him some love, it's Ballistix!
Zeratul could be the game changer here. It's the one here that we have to watch out for the most, especially when he starts to dive into that backline together with Genji. They're going to look for that kill. And once more, it's Quacknix on Vala for the damage output on the side of the Swedes.
A quick mix-up here from Fnatic as they put 4 on the top here, looking for a slight bait, but Zeratul sharking on the left, looking out for them, trying to see if they can find a possible team putting in. Breeze spots it though, goes for an aggressive powered slide. A little bit too aggressive, but still, we're gonna see the Zeratul get away.
Zeratul was trying to see if maybe an isolated hero makes a rotation to the bot lane, and instead Fnatic already expecting Zeratul to make that move, and once they saw him, they immediately jumped him. Good reaction on the other hand from SC, making sure that he moves out immediately, but that was bit of a scary moment here to start the match off.
Well, on the bottom side, Fnatic should have free reign over this lane here. They have the Vala pelting away from the side. A Howling Blast and a Zeratul combo follow-up is probably the scariest thing that Fnatic has to worry about. So watch for them to spread out consistently when that Arthas drops a Howling Blast.
At this point, SC already waiting to move in from the side. Yes, the Howling Blast we've been talking about is immediately everyone trying to dodge it. And Fnatic, of course, knows that Zeratul can be the game changer here. The mobility on the side of Ballistix is definitely a concern to them, and the pressure is on Quacknix, and of course the supports who are going to try and keep him alive. So everyone is going to be looking out for the position that we are seeing for Zeratul and for Hooligan on Arthas, who always wants to get that Howling Blast to start things off.
That's right, Ballistix knowing this is playing back and safe, really trying to wait for Hooligan to land those Howling Blasts. Breeze on the side, watching the chokes here, doing everything you need to do here when you want to make sure nothing gets onto your back line.
And you can already tell how hesitant Breeze is currently to use these power slides. He doesn't want to put himself into a bad position where Ballistic can just pounce on him. He always keeps it up so he can retreat if need be. The face melt, super important to create some space. Whenever Ballistic goes in for Vala, he has to be there.
Ballistix set up a big flank here, putting Zeratul all the way from the right side, all the way to the left, which allows Fnatic to get a massive lead on the Immortal race here, dropping the Hungering Arrow. The moment that Arthas steps forward, Fnatic backs up, once again, playing it safe here, as we find SCSE on the side.
And SC the entire time, his position is getting pinged. Fnatic nowhere he should be. They're trying to go for the kill, and they get it! Genji is down as Fnatic draws first blood.
And Wubby even comes down too. This will be an easy halftime show here for Fnatic as they go ahead and burn it down as quickly as possible. Now, their big hope here is that this Immortal does spawn on the left side. That will allow for them to clear it up quickly and get a nice big shield over their opponents. They even have Breeze on the right side playing aggressive, making Ballistix pull away.
The one thing that impressed me the most about Fnatic right now is that they always know where Zeratul should be. You can see the pings where they always say, guys, be careful. He's probably just waiting there for you to make the rotation. And so far, it's working out nicely. They get the first Immortal. They have still half shields on him. But if at any point they miss on one of the rotations of Zeratul and the kill happens against Vala, against Lucio, then that could really be the moment where Ballistix just starts to gain momentum on them all.
Yeah, it should be easy for Fnatic to know where Zeratul is in the early game, but once level 7 hits, balance, that mobility is going to spike there for our Zeratul player. He'll be able to jump around the fights much more often. And then, of course, at level 10, our analyst talked about it, Void Prison coming online.
Exactly, and also once we have the map opening up, once the forts are down, there's way more space to work with for Zeratul. At this point, he's still trying to wait in the shadows here for a quick attack. Sonya's at the bot lane right now. The Haka burrowing down, trying to defend and soak experience. But as you can see, Fnatic already more than half a level ahead.
Half a level ahead, open up the top side, rotating the bottom lane. What we saw on Infernal Shrines now available here on BOE. A little bit harder for Ballistix to fully catch up with this with Lucio just popping around the entire map. They're looking for a second turret, but with members missing, they're going to go ahead and pull back and play safe. Fnatic knows when to stop and go.
Yeah, but they have to be careful now because that rotation has happened. Rhaegar's still at the top, getting the extra wave, starting to make his way back down. And Breeze again anchoring his team at the side, moving in, immediately realizing that there is a potential that we have a flank from Ballistix. He's waiting for it. This time he commits to the power slide, putting Swoye into an awkward position here. Swoye is low, but the fight is starting. Ballistix is once again going in with SC. They're trying to get the kill, and they do. Vala is down, the damage gone. Ballistix trying to hit him where it hurts.
Fnatic needs to run here. Will be the only one that can do a major amount of damage in the fight. Turns around, and he will be sacrificed. Ballistic answers back with 2 kills of their own as they're able to take out Vala and Sonya.
Ballistix going in and confirming the double kill here. And it started with Fnatic trying to take down Rhaegar, and they nearly took him down. But then it turns against them as they just can't confirm the kill. And all of a sudden, the rest of the Korean team gangs up on them, and they get Vala first. And with Vala gone, the damage is just non-existent. You have to rely on Sonya alone to turn the tides of the battle, which can be really tricky.
And the lead that Fnatic had is now gone. Ballistix now ahead slightly here after those 2 kills. Opening the map too as well as they got the Merc camp to the very south and to the very north here, simultaneously pushing both lanes at the same time. Fnatic setting up by grabbing their Knight camp on the left side, and they'll have that pushing on the bottom, so it should clear out nicely, but someone will have to deal with the top side.
And with the way this is going, you can already tell that there's a high chance Fnatic is going to commit to the palm on Karazim. Now, in an ideal world, you don't even want to take it. You want to make sure that ETC gets the isolation. Talking isolation, the Hawkeye is in a huge amount of pain right now, in trouble. Chonga goes down as Fnatic finds the kill.
They find the kill here. Karazim on the bottom side still, but now Fnatic, they can step up and apply damage to the Immortal here. Slowly chunking it, and they can play it slow too. Breeze doesn't have to do anything here with that. Dahaka being down for the next 5 seconds. No big worry here for Fnatic.
And they have vision on Zeratul. They know exactly where he is. They see him at the bot lane. We have Karazim fighting him on the lane right now. So Ballistix, they don't have that element anymore where Fnatic has to be afraid of a flank. Fnatic has full vision. They have the information they need, so they can commit to this.
They want to get this halftime show. That way they can go to the top side and clear it out there. Help out Sonya a little bit. Genji also helping some damage. Schwimpy needs a teammate here to jump to. He'll jump to Hooligan and then jump to a teammate. He escapes a gank coming his way.
Blinding speed helping him out here as he joins up with the rest of his team. And again, we could see Karazim with the palm later. You would love to go into 7-sided and have ETC isolate a target and then commit to a quick kill. But with Ballistix already showing, of course, that they are going to focus Vala every single fight, you can go for the palm here and try and make sure that Quacknix doesn't fall. If you do, though, you have to make sure that both supports don't chain their ults too hard. You don't want to overlap the cooldowns here.
Part of me feels like Fnatic's feeling confident. I kind of want to see that 7-sided strike come in. It would be wonderful against Arthas, even trying to land that target as you're mentioning. We'll see what Fnatic goes for, the safe style or the aggressive, confident style.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about, do you want to keep Vala alive? Is that really worth it going for the palm? Or do you feel you get these isolation kills with a 7-sided and Vala following it up? And that's something that they have to decide on level 10. Definitely both are possible here, as we have now Ballistix still behind in the Immortal race, but both of them are even in experience.
Zeratul shows on the bottom side. Fnatic will start to move forward here. Quacknix should be able to work in a couple of Hungering Arrows, chunking it slowly down here as both teams move towards that level 10, trying not to miss a single ounce of experience.
At this point, Quacknix doesn't have too much extra damage on his arrow yet, 30 extra damage, so is still working on his quest, but it really shows how much of pressure play they can execute against the objective here. And now it's all about the level 10. Nobody wants to be caught in the middle while your opponent hits the heroics, especially, of course, with Void Prison being available.
SC Scouts, ETC rotating down, so they'll move over to the Immortal. Start working on it slowly. Breeze kites on back. 10 has hit for Ballistix. A small window is available, but one that's pretty hard to hit. They'll go ahead and pull back and play safe and wait for an opportunity.
Palm committed to, so they don't go for the quick kill. They want to make sure that Vala is safe. And here we go, starting to go straight for Arthas here. He's in trouble. The cleanse is in. Void Prison being used. At the same time, the sound barrier. Ballistix is ganging up on Fnatic here. They're going in right away.
The
Mosh pit being used.
The
And Genji goes down. Hooligan in trouble, and they drop him as well.
The Mosh fires, and they get Genji and Arthas. The Ancestor healing not in time there to help out. Ballistix losing 2 members.
At that point, the Void Prison was in, and Breeze is saying, boys, it's fine. They're ganging up on us, but I'm going to mosh immediately. Keep me safe, and everyone on the side of Ballistix that tried to go in for the kill, they got immediately stunned out, and that leads to the double kill. Fnatic now with 4 kills against 2 in the game. Take another Immortal, and will push through the top lane.
4 kills to 2 and a massive Immortal. Everyone from Fnatic is here in the top lane, ready to push forward, break down this fort. They want to commit to the aggression here. The ability for ETC to power slide and force a fight is very valuable for them if they can get that engage they want, especially with Army of the Dead being down for another 20 seconds.
And at this point, of course, Void Prison is down for another 40 as well. A big problem for Ballistix. They really depend on it. They depend on Zeratul bringing the value here. Quick kills against Vala, that's what they're looking for with Genji, with Zeratul, but they're not getting them right now. Fnatic is pushing in, they have the level lead, they dropped the fort, and they're going for the keep.
Wubby using Wrath here, willing to continue moving forward. They have committed to this. SC on the backside, looking for an engage here. He goes in for some harassment. SD on the back line, but Breeze is anchoring his team so well right now.
Breeze protecting everyone at this point. Slides in, they want to get killed, but the cleanse is there. Jonga able to move out. Hooligan on the other hand, in a little bit of trouble, and he is still able to move out, but the Immortal is moving in. SD also moving away as Ballistix is desperately trying to somehow defend the key, but it looks like this is going to fall.
It's
only
gonna.
10 minutes into the game.
Ballistix tried desperately to pull Fnatic away from this Immortal, but they did not bite on the bait. They keep moving forward here, full healthy here, robust, ready to go. Looking at even the core, we see a ping on it. There's no way. Are they gonna go for it? Fnatic, they're feeling confident. They're moving in.
And they're going for it. Fnatic moves in. They want the core right now. SCSC is there. There comes the Ancestor.
They're dancing.
Mosh pit hits hard. Arthas is down. Void Prison being used. Fnatic in a 5 versus 4. They're going for it. They're dropping them one after another. Arthas is down. Will be in trouble against Palm. The Palm does block. They go for the core. Ballistix is about to lose. Fnatic takes the game, wins the series without losing a map, and they move on to face MVP Black in the grand final at BlizzCon 2017.
The BlizzCon 2017 Grand Finals will feature a team from Europe and a team from Korea. I don't think we'd want it any other way, Caldor.
A dominant performance by Fnatic here. Very few people expected this series to go 3-0 in favor of Fnatic. Everyone expected a hard-fought battle between the two teams that faced each other in the grand final in last year. But now we have MVP Black going up against Fnatic in the grand final, and it is going to be epic.
It's going to be a wonderful rematch, but still exciting here for Fnatic. Going into the series, they weren't feeling confident about it. They thought it would be a struggle, but they come out, show some dominance. It seems like after game number 1, they had a boost of adrenaline.
And especially in the last game, all the confidence in the world, taking the keep and then saying, boys, we got this. We go in right now. They take Arthas down, and from that point on, it was like, we can drop it. We have Sonya. We can go in. The palm hits, it connects, and then Sonya is back to business. Wubby is on the core, and they take it.
Huge plays here from every single member of Fnatic, but they have to continue forward. Remember, the Grand Finals is right around the corner for these two teams. We're getting set up for our interview here. I would love to hear the words here from Fnatic. I'm assuming we're going to hear from Quack himself, who mentioned last week, you know, we're not confident, we're not sure if we are the top 4 team overall, and we're ready to go. And I'm very excited to see what he has to say about this matchup coming his way.
Yeah, exactly. That was a fantastic series here by them, and it was just insane to see how close some of these fights were, about the coordination that we had for them. And to be honest, Rich was watching the games in the back room, and he told me, well, we are starting to get a bit scared here, and they have every reason to be.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's go to Kevin here and hear from Quacknix himself.
Thank you so much, Tim. That's right. I'm here with Quacknix from Team Fnatic. Man, a remarkable semifinal victory. 3-0. The revenge match on top of that for last year's BlizzCon against one of the teams that has been the best in this game since the beginning. You must be feeling great right now. How are you feeling?
Yeah, we're feeling really great today. I've been a bit sick, but today I'm actually feeling really good, which helps the team a lot. And today the atmosphere is really on point, and you know, we come in, we have a really good game plan going into every single game, and we get exactly what we want, and that's how it's supposed to look. If you're a Fnatic fan, you better be proud!
So obviously one more dominant opponent remains for you here in the grand finals. MVP Black, I'm struggling with that. See, I can't even say their name, that's how hardcore they are. They've yet to be touched in this tournament. Very formidable opponent. What is the game plan? Are we going to see more of this confident, aggressive play out of you that we saw in the series with Ballistix?
Yeah, obviously we're going to go back a bit now when we have a break and make sure we come in with a new game plan, because MVP has been our scrim partners, like the team we have been scrimming the most, so they most know of our stuff, because yeah, we just make sure what we have is good. And yeah, if we ever face them, it would be in the finals. So now that we go up against them, we really need to go back and make sure we come out with something new, because right now they kind of have an advantage if they have studied enough from scrims and, you know, just watching our games. So yeah, we got to go back and we got to make sure we have something new coming up, and hopefully it's enough.
Indeed. One last question for you, Quack Nix. This is the last time we get to hear from Fnatic before the grand finals. Is there anything you'd like to say to this crowd, to the world that is watching?
So yeah, thanks to everybody who's supporting us. You guys are amazing. I love the energy. Keep it up. But don't only cheer for us, cheer for Heroes Esport. But, I mean, cheer for us the most. Let's go!
Good luck, Quack Nix. We have got a tournament on our hands, boys. Over to you, Kalaris.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Is this Blizzard Games done quick? Because not only was it a 3-0, but that last map at the very end was the fastest game in the entire tournament so far. Fnatic has apparently a train to catch somewhere.
I mean, it might look from the outside, if you put it into most basic terms, that that was a crazy core call. But given the approach to the keep and how Ballistix was just unable to find any angle despite literally surrounding Fnatic on all sides and trying to find a way to engage, I think in that moment, if you're Fnatic, you realize this comp just does not work. Let's end this game. This is over. Let's go to the finals. And I mean, it was just a one-way ticket straight there.
I think this really highlights the point that Sway made at the start of the series, that the atmosphere is against them. You know, if the team, if the crowd really back Fnatic, it's going to start to tilt them. And you could see that really from the sort of the recipe of that draft, where, as you mentioned, yeah, they weren't able to find the kills. Their defense for that siege that was going to approach was quite weak. They conceded a game in like under 10 minutes. It's not the storyline that I'm sure Ballistix were after.
Yeah, all the games so far in the tournament were 10 minutes and plus. Even, you know, some of the weirder drafts. And you know, this is weird curse in like third games of this tournament, of the bracket phase, where the draft from one side just doesn't make sense. Yeah. You know, there's so much pressure. I mean,
who did it better, Roll20 or Ballistix in this case?
I'm not sure. I mean, halfway the game, you're like, wait a minute. And they all ask each other, maybe. Like, whose job is it actually to cancel the mosh pit? You know, it's only the Haka. No. He has drag tongue,
weird in itself.
Can be body blocked. He's melee. There's isolation, can be body blocked. So, and then you can void prison to like pause it. But there's not the usual like, oh, you know, Li Ming, wave of force, Valor. So yeah, it's a weird draft. But they got really pushed to the limit. This is like the forced mental error that you make at that point.
Very difficult, but now for Fnatic gets themselves back-to-back grand finals here on the grandest stage of them all at BlizzCon here. They are going up against MVP Black, just kind of
this is the dream finals, right?
Yeah.
This is the dream finals. The rematch of the semifinals last year where Fnatic was able to defeat MVP Black. This has been the finals I wanted all season long. I feel like it'd be the one that brings this incredible revenge story for Black, who had this arc of improvement all year long. Fnatic defending global champions, went to the finals last year of BlizzCon, who couldn't have a storied and better grand finals here.
I mean, this really comes back to the idea that, you know, Fnatic and MVP Black, a lot of these teams in this BlizzCon tournament were saying, yeah, these guys are the favorites, these guys are the ones that have shown the most success recently. Yeah. So to see these guys go head-to-head in that grand final, we're going to find out who is still that #1 seed. Is it EU or is it Korea?
It's a very good question, and later down the line we will find out. So of course the grand finals will come up in a little bit here for the HGC 2017 finals. Don't go anywhere, because that fixture is coming up in just a little bit's time. And of course, later as well, before that grand finals, we'll have a very special announcement and reveal for you here on the stage. Don't go anywhere.
mid lane. Cocoon can be helpful. They're probably going to put it on Tassadar, and they do actually get the Tassadar here. Dragon Blade comes in. Quacknix is going for the kill. He'll get a murder. He's looking at Ragnarok. There's 2 kills right away. Looking for a third, but shouldn't be able to get it.
Malfurion making sure that he can set up Shrimp
collapse.
even more. They go in, they collapse onto Jonga. Here comes the Dragon Blade once again. They want to get the kill against Ragnaros, but so far he's still alive. They finally drop him once again. Wooby with a Twilight Dream, and now they go for Malfurion. The time trap connects, but look at Swan. He's solo. Everybody dead and dying on Ballistix side, but it's Anubara who dies first. Muradin follows.
Still at a little under half health. Quacknix goes in. They go straight for the Ragnaros. The Impale will connect. Genji, being in the aggressive fight he can, goes straight in for the attack. Massive Twilight Dream. 2 fall. A third in trouble as well. Jungle doing everything he can to lift. He will fall. Hooligan and SDE are the only ones left.
Quacknix popping off on Genji. You go. We have SC extremely low. He's trying to go in regardless. ETC goes down, but so does Genji. It's a 4 versus 4. We have Ballistix moving in once again with another quick spear from Jonga. He's about to fall. He actually dies. A great move from Smexy. They push Meredith in. They get the triple kill.
Smexy will save that fight there for Quacknix. He finishes it with a blow. Swoy trying to escape, but Wubby says no. Brings out Druins in, and 4 members fall for Ballistix. Fnatic run start between these 2 teams in this best of 5 series. This is the semifinals. You could have.
That Vala is safe, and here we go, starting to go straight for Arthas here. He's in trouble, the cleanse is in, Void Prison being used at the same time, the sound barrier. Ballistix is ganging up on Fnatic here, they're going in right away. The mosh pit being used, and Genji goes down, Hooligan in trouble, and they drop him as well.
The Mosh fires, and they get Genji and Arthas. The Ancestor healing not in time there. They're feeling confident, they're moving in.
And they're going for it, Fnatic moves in, they want the core right now, and CSC
Mosh!
There comes the Ancestor.
They're dancing.
Mosh pit hits hard. Arthas is down. Void Prison being used. Fnatic in a 5 versus 4. They're going for it. They're dropping them one after another. Arthas is down. Will be in trouble against Palm. The Palm does drop. They go for the core. Ballistix is about to lose. Fnatic takes the game, wins the series without losing a map, and they move on to face MVP Black in the grand final at BlizzCon 2017.